Practice is a vital component in terms of the acquisition phase of learning new skills. Depending on the stage of learning of the participant, different methods of practice would be more beneficial than others. There are two distinct phases of improvement during learning: within-session improvement due to practice and between-session improvement due to memory consolidation. For the purpose of our study, we will be focusing on within-session improvement when learning the skill of double-unders and the effects of blocked versus random practice on performance.
The skill of performing double-unders involves skipping the rope and having it pass under your feet twice before your feet come in contact with the ground again. Initiation of movement begins in a standing supine position, elbows flexed at 120 degrees and the rope slacking behind you. Performance of the movement involves maintaining a static shoulder position and flexed elbows. The main movement production is found in the wrists, as the wrist extensors contract eccentrically and concentrically to rapidly whip the rope over and under the body. Another important component is to ensure that the core muscles are stabilized and activated in order to maintain a supine position and upright posture. For rope clearance, the gastrocnemius and soleus muscles concentrically contract to produce force in order to perform the jump. Eccentric loading upon landing will produce a rapid jump and controlled landing, but this ability is developed later on in the stages of learning.
The degrees of freedom in the movement are reduced by maintaining static shoulder position. As learning progresses towards the autonomous stage, the participant will focus more on wrist movement. Additionally, the eccentric loading of the gastrocs and soleus reduce degrees of freedom by allowing for repetitions to be completed faster and more efficiently. A beginner may struggle with the eccentric loading of the gastrocs and soleus as it is a skill of high complexity. As the learner acquires this skill and progresses to the autonomous stage, they will be able to complete faster repetitions.
In this study, we have participants at the beginners at this skill who exhibit qualities of the cognitive stage. For the purpose of demonstrating each stage of learning, 3 individuals at each stage of learning will perform this skill.
Don't try to compare us to another bad little fad on the Mac, and I'm bad, give you something that you never had. I make you bump, wiggle and shake your rump, cause I be kicking the flavor that makes you wanna jump. How high, real high, cause I'm just so fly, a young, lovable, huggable type of guy. And everything is to the back with a little slack, cause inside out is wiggin' and whack.
Blocked and random practice differ based on the amount of contextual interference presented in the individual's practice schedule. Contextual interference presents itself as interruptions and variations of the skill during practice. Research has uncovered a phenomenon in which higher levels of contextual interference produce better performance results than practice schedule of low contextual interference. Blocked practice presents low contextual interference to the participant as the skill is repeated over multiple trials in the duration of the practice session. Random practice presents high contextual interference as multiple tasks are mixed in the duration of the practice session. As such, we hypothesize that random practice will produce optimal learning conditions as opposed to blocked practice.
Both participants will go through a training regime. Both participants will go through a blocked practice schedule, which entails attempting to perform the movement in an unstructured manner as a means of trial and error. A blocked practice schedule does not allow for development of fundamental movement patterns, therefore, decreasing the effectiveness of practice. Contrarily, blocked practice could be beneficial for intrinsic feedback, as the learner can make adjustments based off of errors made attempting to string repetitions together.
The participant will practice each drill for 2 minutes in a random order of reactive ankle jumps, single skips, practicing or attempting double unders, and a single under, double under sequence. The participant will finish with a retention task of stringing as many repetitions together as possible within the remaining 2 minutes.
Although the participants' abilities to perform double unders improved over the training session, it should be noted that learning cannot be readily tested within the same session as skill acquisition or renewal. Learning is detectable through performance retention over time. As such, the participants were subjected to 3 retention tests. These tests were scheduled immediately after practice, 1 week and 2 weeks later. The results are highlighted here. As shown, it can be stated that the random practice schedule was more beneficial for learning. Although the participant doing block practice also improved, their retention test did not indicate as much learning in comparison.